So I have this little problem that I have to admit to right up front. I kind of sometimes don't know when to stop. And what happened was, this is my story and I'm sticking to it. What happened was when I went to go design the design for the free peyote tube earrings that I created for you guys, I'll pop a link up here for that for you. I really enjoyed making the design. And so then I thought, well, maybe that's not the best design. And so then I kept designing, and then I kept designing, and the next thing you know, I've got 12 designs. And then what do I do with them? And the answer is, I turned them into a necklace. And so I want to show you how we can make a necklace out of these peyote tube patterns. The patterns are really fun. So let's take a look at what I've got going on here. This is what I did, is I took all of these different peyote tube patterns, and you'll notice that every single one of these beads is slightly different. Like this one has what I think of as little flowers in it on both sides. This is a spiral one. This is just solid but with the color blocks at the end. Here we've got a striped bead. Here we've got one with these little, I don't know, these like end cap indentation things. Here we have a, oh, this is my chevron pattern one. And then somewhere in here I've got a, oh, this is an arrow. So here we've got an arrow one, but I've got a diamond shaped one in here too. But anyway, you get the, oh, here was the diamond. So there's the diamond. And it repeats on the other side. And I was trying to come up with a kind of interesting way to put them together, because normally the way you see them put together is strung on a piece. You would see them with maybe a little bit of the silver on the end, and then a crystal, and then the next one, and so they're strung. And I really kind of wanted to do something a little bit different, and so what I did is I attached them all with a little bit of chain in between them and turned it into a necklace. And this necklace, this particular one, because I used 12 of these beaded beads, and then each one of these segments of chain that I used is about 1.5 inches. So this necklace ended up being roughly about 26 inches, which is actually long enough to put over my head without any kind of clasp. And so I just wanted to show you how you would put all this together, because I think this is a really interesting and maybe kind of unusual way to see these peyote tube beads. The first thing that you need to know how to do is how to easily measure chain, because it's a pain in the butt if you think that you're going to sit there and count all those little links to make sure they're all the same length. First of all, you got better things to do for sure. I mean, isn't Dancing with the Stars on or something, you know? So, so I don't do that at all, and I mistrust using a ruler, although that's an option for you. So what I do instead is I take a head pin, and you grab your head pin and you put that very last little link of chain and put it on your head pin that way. You measure out how much you want. In this case, I'm just going to eyeball and just kind of pick a random spot here. So I picked a spot, I cut my link of chain. This is a very fine chain, so it's very easy to get that cut and put apart. But now I want all my other chain pieces to be the same length. So here's how you're going to do that. You're going to take the end of the long length of chain, put that last link on there. Okay, I swear to God I can do it. There we go. And then you're going to let it hang down. Now, for purposes of the camera, I'm kind of showing you this way, but if you let it hang, then you can just eyeball where that matches up. So this matches up right with that link, and I'm going to cut the link right below it. So this is a really fast and efficient way to measure your chain pieces when you have a whole bunch to cut. There we go, that's the last one. I may be one off here, we'll see. There we go. Yep, I actually ended up being one off because I was laying it across my finger. But it's really obvious when you let them hang. Oops, there we go. Where that spot is to cut them. So that's the number one thing that you need to know, is how to make that nice and easy, that whole process nice and easy. And then the number two thing that you need to know is how to put all these pieces and parts together. In the necklace that I made, I used all size 10 delicas here, so that they made a fairly substantial piece. So I'm going to use these two beaded beads as my samples. I'm using a 22 gauge wire. And this is half hard 22 gauge wire. You can use sterling silver, you can use gold filled, you can use silver filled actually is another good option that these days with silver prices have moderated somewhat, but for a long time they've been so expensive that they started creating silver filled wire. So when you go to make a loop, you can just use a simple loop on this. If you prefer, you can certainly use a wrapped loop. That's not a problem. But when you go to make your loop, on your first end, it's really, really easy. You're going to pick the place on your round nose pliers, and there's my little loop. You're going to go back with your flat nose pliers, put it right in the crick of his neck right there. And this is what we call breaking his neck. I'm just going to pull that back because I want his head to be centered over his body. So now I have a simple loop right there. And I'm able to, and notice it's not closed all the way, which is great, because now I'm going to take that fine chain and I'm going to link it on there, and now I can take my flat nose pliers. Here we go. Let's do it so you can actually see it. What do you think? And I will bring that in so that, voila, now this guy won't come off. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and string our beaded bead on. But if we just put just the plain beaded bead, first of all, it's swallowing the whole of that. See, it actually will come all the way off because I made that loop so small. And besides, it doesn't look very pretty that way. So what I like to do instead is use some Bali silver spacers. And you can use the sterling silver ones. Tierra Cast makes some really good plated ones now, and Tierra Cast is a company I always trust their plating. I've never been able to actually get the plating off, so I strongly recommend them. But see what a difference that makes on this end here? It makes it much prettier. I use two different sizes of spacers here. A third size would be even cooler, and kind of stack them up. I'm going to repeat that on this end. So I started out with a small spacer, then the bigger spacer, my beaded bead. Now I'm going to reverse that with the bigger spacer and the smaller spacer. There we go. Okay. So now I need to make the loop on this end of the wire. And to do that, I'm just going to take the very tippy tip of my flat nose pliers here. I'm going to bend it. You're going to need to cut, there we go, there's the scissors. You're going to need to cut your wire. And I will tell you, I'm going to tell you my dirty little secret, which is that I have a really hard time gauging how much to cut off to make a wrapped loop. And the reason I'm telling you my dirty little secret is because I'm going to show you a way, you know, and I totally should have done it a different way, but that's okay. I'll roll it from here. I'm going to roll it in, voila. Okay, see, this is my dirty little secret. I'm really crummy at this part. So this will work for right now, because what I'll do here is I'm going to attach my little chain and end this like that. Okay. Now for this next piece, I'm going to use a tool to create this loop. And this is how we're going to use the tool. It's called a one-step looper, and you just take the end of your wire, you're going to pop it right inside the channel, and you want it to be under the little round piece but on top of these two like parentheses. And right here where this edge is, that's where it's going to cut the wire for you. So you don't have to extend it really far beyond that. But as I then bring this down, it creates a perfect little loop for me. And to center it, you do want to kind of bring this back just a smidge, so then it will then center. And look what a pretty loop that is. It's way prettier than the one that I made. Same thing, it's still a little bit open. So now we can add the little piece of chain here, like so. I can close that loop down. We'll add our small spacer, our big spacer, our beaded bead, our big spacer, small spacer. Okay, now we're ready to create the loop on this end. And again, I'm going to go ahead and use the looper to do this. There is a hole in this outside edge here so that you can actually poke the long edge of the wire through there. You want to bring this straight up flush with the tool. It can be, if you're kind of fumbling around, it can be easy to have a whole bunch of extra wire showing here, and you don't want to do that. So make sure that you're pulling it nice and flush here. You get better at this. I'm still kind of at the fumbly stage with this because I haven't had a chance to practice with it a ton, just long enough to know that it was a tool that I needed to be using. Okay, so now I'm ready to do this. See how it cut off that edge? I'm bringing it all the way down, just pulling it just a little bit back to center it, and there's my perfect loop. And then I would be able to add the next segment of chain there. So this is how you're going to create all of this and put it all together and create this fabulous necklace with all these different beaded beads. I would like to point out, you wouldn't have to make them all beaded beads. You could actually create a little segment on wire using crystals or any kind of accent beads, maybe some lampwork beads, that kind of thing. So this is something that you can really customize for yourself. I just think it was a cool project that I came up with at the last minute, and I just had to throw it in there. I will have kits available for this and instructions on my website at jillwiseman.com, including this tool, this one-step looper. I'll have that available also if that's something that you think that will help you with your technique. And please feel free to share with me what you make. I love seeing what you guys are inspired to do from the designs that I provide. So thank you so much for spending time with me. Be sure to subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss out on any of these good videos. Thanks so much.